So, you're a small business owner and you've got customers. How do you connect the two? Hey everybody, I'm Frank Blanchard, AIFD, and today I'm talking about some of the basics of how the internet works and potentially giving you some ways to optimize your website so that you get more business for your small business venture, whatever that happens to be. Some of this I am also going to direct specifically to my demographic, which happens to be the floral industry. In other words, the business of selling flowers. And these tips that I'm going to give you are really easy. They're things that can be done really by anybody who's got a little bit of time that they can dedicate to it, but it can make a world of difference in how much actual business you get. And I came to realize this past weekend as I was talking with some family and friends and realizing that there are just a lot of people out there in the world that don't really understand how the internet works and how does it work for business and being able to connect all of the dots to actually make it work. The internet. We think it's been around forever and it's like, what did we do without it? But in actuality, for a lot of people, the internet is still a very new thing. But if you are a small business owner and you're trying to get business, nowadays we all know you gotta have a website. You've gotta have a website and you've gotta be on social media. Why do I say that? Well, you might remember back in the day, we used to have these things called phone books. I don't have one around anymore, but I think the last time I did have a phone book, I actually used it as a doorstop because we actually had cell phones by that time, and we generally just, phone books don't exist. We don't use them anymore. And now in 2020, websites and your social media marketing and your social media presence is how people find you. And it's also how the search engines find you. So when it comes to the internet, and you've got your business on the one hand, and you've got your customers on the other hand, in the middle is where we've got the internet. And in order to have the people that you want as customers and clientele to find you over here, the internet has to be able to find you first. Now, some general things that we know need to be on a website are things like your business name, your address, phone number, contact information, a little bit of information about who you are and what you do, and maybe some pictures that are eye-catching that get your customers' attention. That's all well and good. However, in order for the search engines to find you, the majority of what the search engines are actually looking for is information to answer people's search query. So even if you don't own a business, you know about Google, and you know about Bing, and you know about the other search engines out there. You type something into the search line because you have a question about something, and you go to the search engine to find out the answers to that. And that is exactly the information that the search engines are searching for on your website. The search engines are specifically looking for answers and information that is going to answer somebody's search query on the internet. And they do that by looking for text content. So you've got some pretty pictures to get people's attention on your website, but in order for the search engines to find you, you've got to have text content on your website and keywords, specifically ranking keywords, worked into that text content, which is what helps search engines actually find you. If you have very little text content on your website, you almost render yourself non-existent because it makes it so that the search engines can't find you because there's nothing to look for. So if you are trying to gain more web traffic, and this goes for if you basically just have an informational blog type website, or if you have an e-commerce website with a shopping cart and you've got physical items for sale, etc. Either way, doesn't matter what kind of website you've got to get text content on your website. So, things where you can really help the search engines to find you and provide more information for not only the search engines, but the people who are searching for your services are the about section of your business. Tell people about what you do. Do it in a conversational tone, because that way you're automatically going to use not only keywords, but you're going to use related keywords. It does help if you can have somebody actually do a little bit of keyword research to make sure that you're using keywords that are ranking, meaning words that people are already searching for and using in their internet searches. That definitely helps. But using that text content in the about section of your website, telling people about what you do, the services that you offer, etc. If you have staff, whether it's just you, the business owner, or if you have employees, you can have them featured on your website. You can basically tell the internet about their background. That's a way that you can get some more unique keywords and text content on your website. If you have a blog as part of your website, that's one of the best ways to get text content on your website. And here's a keynote that you want to really be aware of. The search engines want to see regular new content being added to your website on a regular basis. If you set up your website for your business, and it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, if you just set the website up and put it up there and publish it so it's out there, but then you never do anything with it and it just sits there, that's when the search engines can actually end up penalizing your website, and you actually fall lower and lower and lower with ranking on the search engines. So make sure, whatever kind of a website you've got, that you're regularly adding new relevant content so that the search engines can see that your website is active and that you are providing information and answers to people's search query. Because you want to be the number one, that's what we're all shooting for, the number one business answering somebody's search query, getting them to actually give us a call, come into our business, send us an email, contacting us in some way, shape, or form, so that we can then see how we can actually help them. How can we provide them with valuable information or service or services or products that will answer their questions and solve their problems? Now, really fast, for florists and online florists specifically, if you have an e-commerce website, on-page SEO is something that has to be done for your website. If you don't do it, you're basically making yourself non-existent, and the search engines aren't going to find you, and consequently, customers aren't going to find you either. So if you have an e-commerce website that you have control of, or that you can add content to, at the very least, where you want to be adding content is in the product descriptions of every single item that's on your website, in the about section of your business, telling people about you. Who are you? What's your background? What's your experience? All of that kind of stuff is the kind of information in text form that you need to have on your website, because that's what makes your website searchable by the search engines, and consequently, then you're going to get people finding you and calling you up or placing an order online. In addition to product descriptions, if you can have a blog as part of your website, that is really beneficial, because again, just like any other kind of website, it's all about regularly adding new content to your website so that you always have the newest, most relevant, in the moment content that are answering people's search query. There's a whole lot more to it than that, but in a nutshell and really quick, that's the kind of stuff that I think most small business owners, if you've got a website, have the ability to work on right here and now in this moment. And if you can work on it, it will definitely make a big difference in the amount of business that you get. Hopefully you found that information helpful today. And if you give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, that would be great. I would love to be able to share more helpful information to you, because my passion as a business owner is actually helping you be successful with your business. Until next time, stay safe, everybody. Be creative and get out there and work on your websites. Make sure you dedicate some time to that, because it will definitely be a good thing for your business. Bye for now, and we'll see you soon.